Hi everyone, this is Ari StariAri, and I'm here to talk about labels. Um, how we tend to label people. All right. This usually is stemming from something within ourselves wanting to explain why things are the way they are, why people act the way they do. At times it is healthy to do that, but sometimes it's not. All right. Knowing the difference depends on you and how you want to live your life. All right. Um, Sometimes we label people based off our own prejudices and judgments. At times we label them based on societal's prejudices and judgments. But all in all, it's purely judgment. Okay. I noticed this a big trend in the spiritual community, for example, where we have people who a lot of us think of as being very ego based. We have people who a lot of us think of being narcissist. This is a word that has been thrown everywhere in the spiritual community. There is a lot of us who believe that there is two types of spiritual people, where there's those who are service to self, and we call these guys narcissists. We call them egotistic or ego-based. We call them not of love and light, even that, okay? Why do we do that? Why are we still continuing the cycle of judgment when we are in a spiritual community where we're supposed to be more understanding and more open to loving each other unconditionally? Why do we still want to um, label those who harm us, those who do things that are not so nice to us, those who make us suffer in some way or another? It's because we want to understand why. Why do they do the things they do? Why do they cause harm to others? The question that you should be asking is, why are they this way? What happened to them to make them this way? What did they go through in their lifetime that they feel that they should be harsh to other people? That is the question that you need to ask, or questions. Because the more that we think about somebody being not of love and light, the more that we think of them being narcissistic, egotistic, all of these negatives, the more that we'll see it reflected onto us. Okay? So this is a delicate balance of understanding your own inner truth and your own inner wisdom and theirs. If you are continuously judging them because of what they throw out there as their own spiritual journey, then don't watch. You don't have to subject yourself to them anymore. You could easily click out of the app, click out of whatever video you're watching them on, and just move on with your life. They are teaching you a lesson too. It's a lesson of non-judgment and letting go. If we feel like it's our job to ridicule them, to call them out in public, in a public place, are we really doing this because we want people to be safe away from, like, know that this person is doing these things to other people, and we want them to, I guess to say, be labeled as somebody that is not trustworthy? Do we really want that to happen to them? Do we really think that's our job to do that? No, it's not. We're not here to save anybody. We are not here to be the moms or the dads for the spiritual community. We are here to acknowledge that this exists and choose to remain attached to that energy or move on with our lives. Okay, that's what we're here to do. If somebody that's friends with us chooses to remain in that energy with that person that they're following, then that's their path, okay? You could advise whatever if they ask. Don't just judge. Just advice. If they ask you, oh, what do you think about this person? Then just say, okay, this is my personal point of view, and you don't have to be attached to it if you don't want to. Okay, and then speak your truth. And then if they choose not to listen, or they choose not to I guess you could say, understand your personal point of view, then okay, fine, that they're on their own journey. But this whole bickering back and forth, telling each other, oh, they're not of love and light, or you shouldn't follow them because they're not of love and light, or they have attachments, they have all kinds of like shady businesses going on or whatever else, then that's fine. If you know for a fact that somebody is taking money without providing a business back, or some type of exchange back, energetic exchange, then you could report them to the Better Business Bureau, okay? But it is not your job to go on a witch hunt. And that's what is going on. It's like a witch hunt for those who are out there, who are very well known. And just because you didn't like their energy one time does not mean that they're not of love and light, you guys. Love and light is within us all. If somebody chooses to go down the path of, not being aligned with what they're saying, then that's their choice, okay? Stop following them. Simple as that. Another thing is, because I'm just saying this because I've experienced it too. I've experienced that whole, I need to save people. I need to save people from certain people. I need to tell them what's up. I need to, and what did that even help me? It didn't help me at all. It didn't. It made me feel bad. It really did. I felt horrible for telling people, oh, you shouldn't go to this person because they have attachments, which they did, but that is not my business to say. All I have to say is make sure that you're protecting your energy. Make sure that you are shielding yourself. If you don't feel comfortable around somebody's energy, then take off. If you don't feel comfortable around somebody doing any type of energetic work, then tell them to stop. That is your responsibility, okay? We shouldn't be around here telling each other, oh, you gotta watch out for this person, or are you gotta, because that's judging. That's judgment. Because you had a bad experience with them doesn't mean everybody's gonna have a bad experience with them, okay? Another thing is, and this is something that I learned in the military too, because I was in the military for 9 years. I learned how bad it can get when people label other people based on one mistake, and then their whole life is ruined, their whole career progression is ruined because of it. Do you want to be that person to ruin somebody's livelihood, to ruin somebody's career because you chose to vocalize how horrible this people was and told all your millions of friends? I don't think so. That is really bad, because that's going to come back to you in the end. Honestly, it will, in some way, shape, or form, okay? Because whenever you create chaos for somebody's life, you're creating it for yourself as well, okay? That is how energy works. You say something bad about somebody, it's reflecting back at you, okay? That's how energy works. That's how I view energy. And if you don't agree with me, then that's cool. That's fine. You don't have to. I'm just saying what I have witnessed, okay? Another thing is extending yourself, or overextending yourself to help somebody else that you deem that is, or you see that they're going in that direction where they're not speaking, well, they're saying something but doing the contrary. Do not overextend yourself for them. This is the journey that they chose to go towards. If they chose to learn lessons in that manner, then that's their choice. It's not your choice. If you go down that path with them, you're going to be learning the lessons that they're learning too. And that's kind of like choosing compassion over hard-earned lessons. what do you want, right? And I would always choose compassion first, okay? Because I love myself enough to know that I deserve compassion and I deserve to learn lessons in a compassionate way. I don't like drama. And sometimes, you know, sometimes if we have a friend that's always linked to that type of energy, then you gotta tell them that, hey, you know what, it's something within you that needs to be, you know, healed. Where if something's always happening to you, it's, you gotta change that mindset to understanding something's happening for you, okay? Like, instead of asking why me, just ask, what is this teaching me? All right. That's the advice I always give to all my friends. um, Another thing is judging because your modality is different than somebody else's. You guys need to show me proof as to where it states that spirituality, it's all in one box. That everything that's spiritual has to be labeled, that everything that's spiritual has to be exactly like everybody else's spirituality. You come and show me that proof, because I guarantee you got none. So for everybody who's out there who is dictating your own personal spiritual growth, saying it that that's your, you know, that's the law, pretty much the law of God, and that is it, nobody else has a say in how everything works, then you gotta look within and understand, why do you feel that you should dictate your own personal spiritual growth to other people, the way that you perceive things to other people? That is something that is a pattern that needs to be broken and healed. There is always a root cause to that type of behavior. Any type of negative behavior, any type of controlling behavior, there's always a root cause to this, okay? And that's why I always tell people, if something bothers you about somebody, if you think that they're dictating their spirituality to you, then they have things that they need to work on. And obviously it is mirroring that, or is showing you something about yourself too. Okay, so always ask those questions when you see this, when you feel uncomfortable, when you question another person's spirituality. Always ask yourself, what is this showing me? What do I need to look for within myself? Because we're all mirrors of each other, you guys. We're all energy, we're all connected, obviously, you know. And so having compassion for one another is the key. Having love, unconditional love, is the key to understanding and loving yourself spiritually as well. And it all begins with you. If you think of yourself in a way that isn't very positive, then there's a lot of things that you need to review, okay? And there's a lot of healing to do and a lot of growth, because then that reflects on your interactions with the public, that reflects on your interactions with your loved ones, okay? We're here to learn from these interactions. We're here to learn from these cycles and lessons, okay? That is what ascension is. That is what growth is, okay? We're continuously doing this daily. Just because you learn something for one lesson doesn't mean it's not going to continue. Usually lessons do continue, because there's always hidden information that needs to be brought up to the surface. Okay, so again, just be kind to one another. If you find yourself in a situation where there's somebody who is labeling you as not being of love and light, or saying that you're not so spiritual because of the words that you use, then all you can do is tell them, you know what, if you don't like it, you just leave. Okay, I'm not gonna be here to explain myself to you. This is my personal energy. This is my personal spiritual journey and growth. But if you don't appreciate my words, or if you don't appreciate how I'm doing things, then bye. You know, you don't have to be around my energy. Okay, so That's what I recommend for everybody. And for those who are out there nitpicking at people like that, ask yourself why you're doing it. Why are you expending all that energy to nitpick? Why are you pointing fingers and judging them? Because that's what it is, it's judgment. Whether or not they're a bad, like they did something wrong to you or not, you shouldn't be judging them. Okay. And this is one thing that I've learned about my own journey, where I used to be that way too. I used to nitpick, I used to judge. And then I noticed that it wasn't in alignment with what I wanted to be and who I really was. Okay, it wasn't in alignment with my own soul purpose and heart center and high heart. It wasn't in alignment with my higher self and who she is. Okay, and who I'm around with spiritually. It was never in alignment with that. So I'm growing out of it. I'm learning still through to this day. I'm still learning. I'm still going through the cycles. I'm still catching myself when I see something and I'm just like, and then I'm like, wait. That's their own personal way of thinking. I shouldn't judge them. Okay, so thank you again for watching, and I hope this helps somebody out there. And I know that, you know, sometimes it's hard to talk about these things, but it has to be said, because what we're doing is we're going through and playing out a cycle over and over again. Remember, you came into the spiritual community because you were tired of the judgment of the religious community, right? That you were tired of the judgment of the societal community, of the norm. So why are you bringing that cycle back in here? That is what we need to learn. Okay, we need to learn to remove it, to heal it, and to just move on with our own personal journey. And if we are out here to help other people, then help them with information and just detach from it, because they're going to choose the information that resonates. All right, and that is it. All right, thank you again for watching. Hope you guys have a good week. Bye.